FM21 release date is out.
It's really not a super long walk. Let's do the video. I need the camera. So, Football Manager has a release date, but that was not the biggest takeaway from the release date announcement. Football Manager is coming to console. Which console and how's it going to work and all that stuff, we're going to go diving into that in just a second. That's also not the only thing coming out recently. A lot of you guys have been asking about it. I'm working with a merchandise company. We're having a few things made up. This jersey is one of like 9 or 10 super awesome options that will be coming out, honestly, almost exactly the same time as Football Manager because I plan things well. But they're really cool and soft, and you'll be hearing more about that in the future. So look forward to that. Now, Football Manager and stuff. So I was actually streaming today and we had time on the stream. It was a draft for the Streamer Showdown, which is actually going to be happening right after this video comes out. And we were breaking down what this means. One, I was projecting Football Manager to actually be coming out like 2 weeks later than it is now. I knew they were going to try and get the full game out for Christmas and they were going to want to get the beta in. And Miles had sat us down and said, hey, the game's going to come out later because of, in case you hadn't noticed, there's a global pandemic happening. But then they sit down and the game is coming out 5 days later than it did last year, which to me is absolutely remarkable. They were able to hit almost the exact same time, November 24th, compared to November 19th last year. With the beta, which comes out approximately 2 weeks before the actual game, you'll be able to play Football Manager 21 on the 12th of November, or thereabouts. Last year, they surprised everybody and released the beta 3 weeks before the actual release of the game to test some more long-term features. And I figured that they were going to probably want to do that again with all the new scheduling that was going on with the pandemic. So don't even be surprised if Football Manager comes out before November 12th, which means we really only have like a month and a half left with Football Manager 20 as our newest iteration of the game. But this is all the sort of stuff that happens every year. Football Manager is expanding platforms. Less than a month ago, I made a video talking about, less than like 2 weeks ago, I made a video talking about how Football Manager had made the move to Epic. And while this is still obviously on the computer, it is a different marketable platform, and over 1 million people, according to Miles, downloaded the game for free on Epic in those 5 days. Now, obviously, there's some crossover between the people that are downloading on Steam or people that maybe owned it on a Nintendo Switch, but that's a lot of new people getting into Football Manager. And SI is not done because for the first time since 2007, Football Manager is coming to Xbox, and there are a lot of cool features that are actually wrapped up into this. One, they are creating a newer version of the game. Not that it's better than the computer version. It's going to be more similar to Football Manager Touch, which is like watered down and there's a few less features, but it's optimized for a controller. An Xbox controller, to be more specific, not this knockoff gaming controller I bought for my computer. It's optimized for performance on that, so it should be nice and easy to navigate. There's also, in case you hadn't noticed, a huge console war going on between PlayStation and Xbox, and there's a bunch of new consoles that are about to be coming out. Well, thanks to Microsoft's, what's it called? Play Anywhere technology, which layman's call a cloud, you can actually play Football Manager on Xbox, transfer it to your computer, say if you have to go on a road trip or something, which there's a pandemic, you're probably not, but work with me hypothetically. You switch it over to your computer, then you can switch it back to your Xbox. You can play it on the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and I'm assuming the one that exists right now. I don't know. I've been a PlayStation kid most of my life, and you can judge me for that. The exclusives are pretty solid, but I think the exclusives wars is going to really, those are going to determine which console I buy. We might just buy both. That's a lot of money. But I will hopefully be playing Football Manager on an Xbox just to maybe test it out. Football Manager is also coming back on mobile. So when I'm talking about, well, it's coming to Xbox and that's super cool. And you've got all these different cross-platform things. And It looks like we might be able to play, cross-platform as long as you're playing the same version of the game. Like if you play FM Touch on a computer, maybe you'll be able to interact with Xbox. I don't know if they differentiated it enough between Xbox and actual touch on your computer. We're gonna have to wait for more information. It is back on mobile. Football Manager on mobile apparently had its best year ever last year, and so it will be coming back. You'll be able to play Football Manager on your phone if you really don't have an Xbox, a Switch, which it is coming back on Switch as well. You can't get an Epic Games and you don't have a Steam. You probably live under a rock and you can play it on your phone, and that is good for you. Now there's the actual logistics of buying the game and owning the game and what you can do with that. So if the game comes out on November 24th, and that means we're projecting that the beta is going to come out on November 12th. If you buy the game before November 12th from a Sega approved retailer, which is really easy to look up, just Sega approved retailer on a trusted browser, and they will provide you with a list. Steam is on here. Epic is on here. If you're on a janky site and you're trying to buy it from there, that is not a Sega approved retailer if it's not on that list, okay? And I'm not going to link it in the description because I believe in you being a self-starter and really looking it up if you're trying to buy it off some weird website. If you buy it off a Sega approved retailer, you will have access to the beta. If you don't, you won't have access to the beta, and you have to buy it before the beta starts. So like, pre-order the game now if you were going to want to play Football Manager 21 2 weeks early, which why would you not want to play Football Manager 21 2 weeks early if you're going to play it already? An added bonus is that you get 10% off if you pre-order the game now. I'm making no money off of this. I'm just telling you, you get 10% off if you buy it now, and as opposed to waiting. So commit now and you get more gaming and spend less money. Sounds pretty good to me. I mean, that works. And if you buy the game off a Sega approved retailer, you're going to get Football Manager Touch, which is the watered down version of the game that might be compatible with playing on Xbox. It is, if I remember correctly, compatible with playing on Switch. I have never played the game on Switch, and this is something I should do for market research purposes. You get that for free. That is just for PC and Mac. So like if you buy the game on your phone, you're obviously not going to get multiple versions because there is just one mobile version. If you buy the game on Xbox, there is just one Xbox edition of the game. So you're just going to get that one. If you're on PC and Mac, you're good to go. PC in particular, you can move your saves from your Xbox and you feel really cool. The last important piece of information is the fact that on these different platforms, the game does actually have something of a different release date. But all we know about that right now is that the release details for touch and mobile will be coming soon. They don't mention the release date for Xbox, which makes me believe that it's the same as the base game on PC and Mac from Steam and Epic or any other store on the internet. That's Sega approved retailers list. And then they said the touch for Nintendo Switch, which I know a good portion of you play, is expected to complete the lineup in December, which means the mobile and the touch versions of the game that they're looking to release are probably going to be out before December. And considering the game comes out on the 24th and there's like seven days to December when the lineup is completed by touch, then all of the games are going to be coming out in very short order after each other. I know sometimes you have to wait a long time for a different version of the game. So however you're looking to play Football Manager, it is going to be out entirely everywhere by early December. Pandemic considered, bravo SI. We don't have any feature details though. I know you're going to be like, well, what's in the game? I have no idea. Let me go rewatch the video again because I don't think they really tell us anything.
A few moments later.
Hey, this is Future Zealand. I've done a lot more investigating and reading, and I've got more information about the Xbox One. It says it's due for release before the end of the year, which means when I'm talking about all these other parts of the game and I don't really know when Xbox is releasing, I did more investigating and it's due to release before the end of the year, which means it's be the last one out, and I'm assuming they just want to get it out before Christmas. But you're gonna have to wait a little longer just to get the nostalgia playing like Football Manager.
FIFA? He almost said FIFA. Do you think he almost said FIFA? That was really close. He might have almost said FIFA. Is he playing FIFA? Is he cheating on us? What is he doing?
I'm a human. I make mistakes. So it's going to be out before Christmas, essentially. Another interesting tidbit from the Xbox information portion of the site is that the number of playable leagues you have available to you is actually going to differ depending on what Xbox you're playing on. It will limit or expand your database depending on which Xbox you start the game on. I imagine this could cause some problems if you started on one system and go to a different system that allows fewer playable leagues, and then the save might not transfer. It's interesting that they've gone to the lengths to include that feature and not just leave it up to you to decide which leagues are going to be playable, but they've actually thrown it around and limited how many leagues you can have on your different Xboxes. So buy the new one and you can probably play every league in the game, right? They've also made abundantly clear, reiterating that this is, while it's based on touch and the ability to water down the game, it will be different than touch. So I don't imagine there will be much opportunity to cross-platform from Xbox to PC, because you'll be playing the Xbox edition of the game. But Football Manager is on console, and I gotta be honest, I'm shocked they've managed to pull that off during a pandemic. Maybe it was all the free time or something. They've pulled it off. Enjoy. You know, as more feature information becomes available, I will be sitting here in this top talking about it. See you on the next video.